36 years ago, the world fell in love with a story that redefined romance. A chance meeting, a whirlwind of emotions, and a love that crossed worlds. Now, after decades of waiting, the most unforgettable couple in Hollywood returns. This isn't just a sequel, it's a continuation of a legend. The screen opens in silence. Slowly, a black screen fades into the golden lights of Beverly Hills at night. Neon signs glow. Cars roll past luxury stores. The camera lingers on. A stretch limousine pulling up to the curb. There's no dialogue yet, only the faint sound of piano key soft, familiar. Echoing like a memory, a voiceover begins, calm and filled with nostalgia. It was the love story that defined a generation. Quick flashes take over the screen. Julia Roberts as Vivian in her iconic red dress from the first film. Richard Gere as Edward smiling in the back of the limousine. Their laughter echoes faintly in the background. These are not long scenes. Only whispers of the past, like fragments of a dream. The music swells slightly, shifting into a softer, more modern orchestral theme. The camera drifts across Rodeo Drive luxury stores with glowing displays. We see a shadow of a woman, her reflection on a shop window. It's not her face yet, just the shape, the reminder of what once was. The voiceover returns. A love that began with chance, grew through trust, and became unforgettable. We cut to a wide shot of Los Angeles sunrise. The city comes alive, golden light washing over skyscrapers. The camera pans upward, revealing Edward's silhouette inside a high-rise office. He stands tall, older now, his frame dignified, his hair silver, but his presence still powerful. The screen does not show his face clearly, it only hints. Then, we cut to another figure, a woman stepping out of a hotel lobby. Her laugh echoes faintly as she adjusts her sunglasses. Her walk is confident, graceful. The camera zooms in on her hand, her rings glimmering, her charm undimmed by time. Again, the face is not revealed fully, only glimpses. The music pauses. Silence, then a whisper. After 36 years. The story continues. The screen cuts to black. Bold golden letters fade in. Pretty Woman 2-2026. The music returns. This time stronger, blending piano with soaring strings. Quick cuts follow. Red carpet flashes, champagne glasses clinking, city streets alive with movement. A voiceover adds, "The legend returns, not to repeat history, but to rewrite it." The section closes with a shot of a single red rose falling on the pavement in slow motion. The camera follows it down as the background blurs, then fades to black. The words appear, "Coming soon, asterisk." The screen fades in from black. Dawn breaks over Los Angeles. The city is alive, but the mood feels different now, more reflective, more mature. Skyscrapers glisten in the morning sun. The streets buzz with cars and people rushing to their routines. The music is slow, deep, carrying a weight of years gone by. A soft voiceover begins, filled with meaning. Time moves forward. But love always leaves shadows in the heart. The camera glides into a tall office tower. Inside we see Edward. His silhouette stands against a wall of glass, looking out at the city. His back is straight, his hands in his pockets. He is older now, silver hair, sharper lines of age, but his presence is commanding. Papers cover his desk. Behind him, framed photographs hint at the life he has built. Wealth, recognition, prestige. Yet, there is no smile on his face. The silence in the room says more than words. Cut to another location, a quiet coastal town outside the city. Vivian walks along the shore, her dress flowing with the wind, her footsteps leaving faint prints in the sand. She stops and stares at the horizon, her hair glows in the sunlight. She lifts her sunglasses, her eyes carrying both wisdom and longing. She seems free, yet her expression tells us she carries a story untold. The voiceover continues. What began with passion has carried them through decades. But life is never without distance. We see Edward in a meeting surrounded by polished executives. His words are firm, but his gaze drifts to the window. For a moment he looks distracted, almost lost. The cut jumps to Vivian, seated at a small cafe, her laughter soft as she talks with an old friend. But then she pauses, her eyes drifting toward an empty chair across from her. The screen lingers on that chair, the absence louder than any. Dialogue. The music rises, introducing tension. Quick shots follow. Edward walking alone down a quiet hallway. Vivian standing in front of a boutique window, her reflection layered with mannequins dressed in luxury gowns. Both of them, though apart, are shown in mirrored frames, as if their lives still run parallel. Even at a distance, the voiceover returns. Two lives built on choices. Two hearts pulled by fate. We see a glimpse of the younger generation, possibly. Their daughter, a woman in her 20s, bold, confident, full of energy. She moves through the crowd, representing the new world they now live in. A world faster and more demanding than the one Edward and Vivian first met in. Her presence hints at family, legacy, and the bridge between the past and present. The camera cuts to a dimly lit ballroom. Edward enters alone, tuxedo crisp, yet his expression heavy. Across the room, Vivian arrives, radiant in an elegant gown. The music slows, silence stretches, and for the first time, their eyes meet. The camera doesn't rush, only lingers on this charged moment, building a promise of what's to come. The sound of a heartbeat echoes faintly, blended with the music. Then the voiceover whispers, after all these years, destiny brings them face to face once more. The scene fades into darkness. Golden text appears on screen. Pretty woman to a new chapter. The music swells, carrying both nostalgia and hope. The section closes with one final shot, Vivian walking away down a long hallway, the sound of her heels clicking against marble floors. Edward watches from a distance, his figure blurred, her silhouette clear. The tension hangs unresolved, pulling the audience deeper into their story. Fade to black, asterisk, the screen opens with rain falling over the city. Reflections shimmer across the streets, headlights blurring in the wet pavement. The music is heavier now, strings and drums weaving a rhythm that feels unsettled. A voiceover begins, soft but urgent. Every story of love carries shadows of doubt, and every choice echoes through time. We see Edward stepping into a boardroom, his voice firm, but the camera lingers not on his success, but on his face in quiet moments when the weight of responsibility pulls at him. Papers, signatures, and wealth surround him, yet the emptiness in his expression speaks louder. Cut to Vivian. She's in a boutique, helping a young woman prepare for an important event. Vivian's laugh fills the space, but when she turns, her eyes reveal something unspoken. The young woman looks at her and says softly, "You taught me what love is supposed to be." Vivian freezes, her smile faltering, the words striking deeper than expected. The music swells and the pace quickens. We see quick flashes, Edward arguing with his daughter in a dimly lit study. Vivian walking away from a dinner table, her hand trembling as she hides tears. Edward slamming his office door shut. Vivian sitting alone, staring at her phone, her thumb hovering over a number. She hasn't dialed in years. The voiceover continues. When love is tested, when silence grows louder than words, will the heart choose to fight or let go? The screen cuts to black, then bursts open again with bright lights, a red carpet, cameras flashing. Vivian arrives in a stunning gown, her grace undeniable. Edward arrives moments later, his presence commanding, his gaze searching the crowd. Their paths cross, and the world slows. The noise of cameras fades, leaving only the sound of their breathing. Their eyes meet, and for the first time, there is no escape. The silence shatters. Quick cuts show their inner battles. Edward and Vivian in the same room, speaking but not truly listening. Vivian walking away into the night as Edward stands helpless, his hand half raised as if to stop her. A storm raging outside a mansion as Edward looks out a window, alone. Vivian leaning against a door, whispering to herself, "I thought we had forever." The music grows intense, a swell of strings and pounding drums. The heartbeat sound returns, echoing louder, faster. Then another voice, different this time, younger, bold. Their daughter's voice. "If you can't fight for each other now, what was it all for?" Her words slice through the tension. The screen flashes with overlapping images, Edward and Vivian's past laughter, their first dance, the limo ride, the kiss that became iconic. Each memory collides with the present-day silence, showing the fragile line between what was and what could be lost. The pace slows again. Vivian stands on a balcony, staring at the city lights. Behind her, Edward steps forward. For a moment, they are close. So close, his hand almost reaches for hers. But just as it does, she steps away. The silence burns. The voiceover whispers, "In a world that never stops moving, can love still find its way home?" The screen cuts sharply to black. Then golden letters rise into view. Pretty Woman 2, love tested. The music crashes into silence. A single note echoes like a question left unanswered. The final shot of this section. Vivian walking into a ballroom alone, her red dress flowing like fire. The doors close behind her. Outside, Edward stands frozen, unable to move forward. Their paths are bound together, yet their choices keep them apart. Fade to black. The screen opens in silence. Then a single piano note plays. Slowly, the sound builds as the camera moves across the Los Angeles skyline at night. Skyscrapers glow. The city pulses like a beating heart. Suddenly, a rush of sound, laughter, applause, music bursts onto the screen. We see flashes of grand events, glittering ballrooms, flashing cameras, and champagne glasses colliding. Vivian spins in a dazzling gown, the edges of her red dress sweeping across the floor. Edward, in a black tuxedo, watches from the shadows. His eyes searching, his chest rising with the weight of something unspoken. A voiceover begins, steady and powerful. Every love story deserves an ending. But some stories demand a new beginning. The music swells into a soaring orchestra. Quick flashes follow. Vivian running down a marble staircase, her heels echoing. Edward racing through crowded streets, pushing past strangers. A storm raging. As lightning illuminates Edward standing alone on a balcony. Vivian's hand trembling as she reaches for a door handle. Hesitating. The heartbeat returns, loud and unrelenting. Suddenly, silence. Vivian steps into a grand hall, her red gown shimmering under golden chandeliers. She pauses at the center, her breath catching as she realizes she is not alone. Edward enters from the opposite side. For a moment, the world slows. Their eyes lock and time itself seems to pause. The voiceover whispers, after decades apart, destiny gives them one last chance. The music erupts again, faster now, dramatic and overwhelming. Flashes of their lives collide on screen, past and present, the limousine door slamming shut. Edward's hand reaching for Vivian on the street. Vivian's iconic laugh echoing through a dark theater. A younger Edward lifting her hand during their first dance. Their daughter, her face fierce, shouting, "Don't let history repeat itself." The screen cuts to black. Then a single shot. Edward's hand finally finding Vivian's, their fingers locking together. The camera lingers on the moment, their grip strong, unshaken. The music softens, shifting into something hopeful. Strings rise gently, a melody filled with warmth. Vivian smiles faintly, a tear sliding down her cheek. Edward whispers something we cannot hear, but the emotion is undeniable. The voiceover delivers the final line. "Pretty Woman" was only the beginning. The screen explodes with light. Golden letters fill the frame. Pretty Woman 2, 2026. The music reaches its peak, soaring with emotion. Tagline appears beneath the title. Love returns, stronger, deeper, forever. The final montage rolls quickly, Vivian laughing, Edward smiling for the first time in years, their daughter watching them proudly, the family together on a sunlit balcony. The red dress sways in the breeze one last time. Then silence. The last words appear on screen, "Coming soon."